Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here with another live events report. And the war against Sancha is still going full swing, and yesterday there was another live event invasion, this time in the system of Altrinur, led by slave Ation09. When I got on site, I was greeted with the new setup for that the Sancha have been employing for these live events. The Sancha carrier was holding on the wormhole, but it was surrounded by about a dozen battleships, which then had about a dozen cruiser and frigate support. As soon as Capsuleer jumped in on the grid, the frigates would immediately engage them and try to scram and web them. I saw actually probably about a dozen Capsuleers get caught this way. On the heavier targets like drakes or ruptures, the battleships would immediately come in to help with their missiles, and well, if you went in alone, you really didn't stand a chance. When one of the ruptures went down, I decided I wanted to check out what his loot was, so I bookmarked his wreck, warped to the closest planet, and then warped back. But as soon as I got close enough and decloaked from being so close to the wreck, I didn't even have the time to open up the wreck, as one of the frigates had locked me and started shooting me. It's only because I was far enough from the frigate that he couldn't scram me yet, and I managed to get out. So you can't count on the Sancha to remain passive. Because you haven't shot at them yet, they will simply start to engage anyone that is within range to them. Later on, a Capsuleer fleet came there, which was smart enough to assemble outside of the system, because as we know from one of the previous live events, Sancha will actually come and hunt down people that flee the scene, so they might have been traced back that way. But they came in a group of about 40 battleships with all the necessary, well, 40 ships I should say, 40 ships counting battleships and a lot of logistics. The fleet decided to use a very bold tactic, because they targeted the carrier right away and made it the primary. So clearly they weren't going to engage the Sancha support fleet first, but they went straight for the carrier, and this fight went on for quite a while, I'd say around half an hour. And as I was watching the fight, I have to say that I just could not tell who was winning at some points. Sometimes it seems like there were a lot of reps that were going down, probably from ECM, so I was a bit worried for the fleet at that point. But in the end, the Capsuleer fire managed to overcome the defenses on the super carrier. A little bit before that, the wormhole collapsed, so we can theorize that the device to create the wormhole is actually on the super carriers, and that by keeping your fire on the carrier you can actually make the wormhole collapse first, which happened here. It seems that the Sancha fleet also retreated just before the wormhole collapsed, so only the super carrier remained on the field. Once this was done, all the carrier could do was deploy smart bombs. Apparently it didn't have any bombers with it. And after that, the shields started dropping pretty quickly. Once those were gone, the Capsuleers burned through its armor and hull rather quickly, and they managed to take out the carrier. And this was a very interesting live event, not so much from the storytelling point of view. All we really know is that Sancha appeared to be testing the Capsuleers as to their capabilities to defend themselves. But from a tactics point of view, it was very interesting to see what the Sancha are doing to try and take out Capsuleers rather effectively, I have to say. Unless you're in a big organized fleet, they were taking down Capsuleers left and right. But the Capsuleers have shown that they won't go down without a fight, and that they have the necessary resources and that they managed the necessary collaboration to come out on top of the Sansha invasion. So really well done to everybody involved that night. That's going to be it for this invasion, and I'll see you guys next time.